I made a dozen felt poppies so I could place one on the grave of an unknown soldier at each of the cemeteries we visited.
We exit France for Belgium, passing through a dummy customs post on the border. We are heading for Coxade, where Sergeant Fred Hitchman is buried. We are staying at the Seahorse Inn, and during the course of the evening we have supper there, a beautiful salmoneur. On behalf of all his family, paying our respects to Sergeant Fred Hitchman Military Medal and his fallen comrades. Coxade Military Cemetery, Belgium. The Canadian War Memorial Langemarck, which remembers the 2,000 soldiers who died in the first gas attack of World War I. The German cemetery at Langemarck. Each of the nations involved in the war has a very different way of remembering their dead.
We had lunch in Langemarck, a huge ham sandwich for me and a croque boom boom for Randall. Look at the size of the helping of cheese and bolognese sauce. Before heading on again, we visited the Langemarck church.
Tyncott Military Cemetery is the largest of the British cemeteries and was expanded after the armistice when remains were brought in from the battlefields of Passchendaele and Langemarck, and from a few small burial grounds. This wall in Tyncott contains the names of 33,783 men who have no known grave. The inscription reads, 1914. Here are recorded the names of officers and men of the armies of the British Empire who fell in the Ypres salient, but to whom the fortune of war denied the known and honoured burial given to the comrades in death. 1918. Of the 11,954 Allied soldiers buried here, the names of only 3,587 are known. Gale plants a cross for Private J. H. Fisher and a poppy for an unknown captain of the Royal Army Medical Corps, the unit her grandfather served in during World War I. move on to Ypres, staying at the Viva Hace bed and breakfast. Into Ypres to attend the last post-ceremony held at the Menengate Memorial, passing the magnificent cloth hall, completed in 1304, destroyed in World War I and fully rebuilt to the original design.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this daily ceremony. Please do not applaud during or after the ceremony. Thank you. Dames en heren, welkom op deze dagelijkse plechtigheid. En liever niet de applaudissering gedurende of na de plechtigheid. Dank u.
Back in Ypres, we see the Lego model of the Menengate. To the beautiful cathedral in daylight. Had dark Belgian chocolate ice cream and waffles. Oh, bliss!
I attended the last post again on our second night. Met these army cadets from Manchester who were in town to parade on the 11th of November, and these four, Eddie, Vim, Chris and Rudy, shared their prime viewing spot with me and accepted my invitation for a drink afterwards. There are 940 World War I cemeteries in France and Belgium that contain more than 40 graves, so it is no surprise to see direction signs everywhere. All of these were photographed on one intersection. We visited the Railway Dugout Cemetery on our way to Dunkirk and home.
We travelled 70 miles to the cemetery at St. Symphorium, a trip I'm glad we made. On the 4th of August 2014, Prince William and the Duchess of Cambridge attended a rededication ceremony of the 100th anniversary of Britain's entry into World War I and unveiled this plaque.
The British Cross at St. Symphorium. How many of these men watching the fabric-covered plains of the day could ever have imagined jets painting contrails above their final resting place?
The German obelisk in an area mainly set aside for the Germans, a natural desire to look after one's own in a dedicated area.
A poignant feature of this cemetery is that the first and last known casualties of the war lie buried within 15 yards of each other. They are John Parr, 21st of August 1914, and George Ellison, 11th November 1918, the very day the ceasefire was imposed.
We have buttons in the family tree and wondered in what way, if any, he may be related.
This monument in the center of the circle of headstones was erected by the Germans in 1917 in honor of the 46 men of the Middlesex Regiment the Germans buried after they fell during a fierce battle. So valiantly had they fought that the Germans believed them to be a royal regiment and dedicated their memorial to the Royal Middlesex Regiment.
This cemetery is a magnificent and striking war cemetery, and we left the comment in the visitor's book. So sad to remember you this way, yet so beautiful. God bless you. The sense of serenity is very calming for those who visit to remember.